qualified with you. This is involving Jennifer Gonzalez. Okay? I don't know how to be as succinct, but I'll try to be as succinct as I can. The court may recall that she has a PCS as arising in the same incident that was over. James Mount and Melissa were the.
Did you catch 45 minutes of legal wrangling before the judge even makes a move. Welcome to the slow grind of justice. Do you think this patience ensures fairness, or is it just wasting everyone's time?
Did you catch that? Nearly 45 minutes of behind-the-scenes debate just to figure out what happens here. In courtroom time, that's no small deal. What do you think? Is this careful justice, or just more delay?
The court and I, we had a powwow yesterday for about 30 or 45 minutes to try to decide what was happening here, and I'm trying to short circuit things. End of it all, we come out this morning. They're going to dismiss the PCS as long as she pleads here. They allow her to plead her time, sir, over here.
Not on the second. Sorry. Not on the second. No. If she wants a PPI, or if she wants a probation, okay. I think 30 is what we typically do on a second, but not time served.
The first one was some time ago, Judge. Like
I understand.
Years ago.
I get it.
So.
And she had violations while she's on, right?
Well, the one violation that couldn't be excused or explained because what happens is she takes Adderall. And so that's what I think she was.
No, I'm sorry. Not on a second. And it's not just you. Just I have before, and people have ran like literally the week after they wrapped their car on the pole.
So the scooter defense. From Costco scooters to license suspensions, this is where courtroom drama meets everyday comedy. But here's the serious twist. Even without a car, probation still carries real weight.
So,
and
if I can, and it may or may not impact the decision, she does not have a license, does not drive. Okay, she has a scooter that she's on that we talked about. That's I don't know, 3 horsepower, whatever it is.
Is it one of those Costco scooters that you cannot take on the street?
Yes, you can't really get on the street. There's not one of those. She has a license and has not had one. Okay. Now, I know there's going to be a position of suspension of the license she may have. I know that will be true.
The judge offers Zoom check-ins for probation, modern justice, 2025 style. But let's be honest, does virtual reporting keep accountability strong or make it too easy to slip through the cracks?
The big issue with the probation, because that's one of the things that we first talked about, she has to take care, and she's the sole provider for an elderly father. She doesn't drive and unable to drive him back and forth and everything, but he depends 100% on her. Now, my concern with the probation, and it was the thing that we kind of talked about yesterday, is if she's forced to be in a position of making a decision of doing something for her dad versus appear for a urine test or appear for a different office visit or something like that, she's going to defer and say, I'm going to take care of my dad. My dad's life means more than 40.
Probation will never interfere with anything someone has to do for work, caring for another person. They will always work around. So if she gets called in for a drug test, all she has to do is say, hey, I can't come. I can come tomorrow. They're not going to give you grace of a week, right? But it's got to be something reasonable. Next day, perhaps a couple hours down the road, but they're never going to leave you high and dry to where they're going to do anything like that. I can allow, if she does well after the first couple months, I can allow virtual reporting as well so that she can report via Zoom. If she's doing well, she will still have to, she's going to have a guardian in the lot, right? Because that's what we do on all probations, especially on the second. So
she doesn't have Vicky doesn't drive, have a license.
She'll have a portable.
There's a monitor on her. Can I have a come forward again? Come forward since I was doing mine.
I get she's got a monitor ankle and I'm paying now, right?
And it's killing her leg.
We'll take that off. We'll give her a portable device.
Yeah. That has to be modified because it doesn't look good at all.
Her looks is the least of my concern.
It's painful, Judge, what I'm saying. It's painful.
Hello, Judge.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about you?
Good, sir. Thank you.
What we had discussed, just so, and there's a full disclosure now since we're talking, Marissa had agreed to have a plea to the DWI probation with the terms included, recommended by the TROs and all this type of stuff, which we had agreed that would be one of the ways to resolve it. And that would still have no business to PCS. But once we talked about the idea of setting her up for failure, if you would, I wasn't comfortable if she would be able, or this court might even be able to accommodate issues that would arise because she couldn't get to her meeting or.
You can always accommodate. Always. There's never a way that we can't. Never doesn't work in our vocabulary. And the thing that I want you to understand is that I don't, you now, once you plead, if you plead to this, it's going to go on your record. It is now a second offense. And the last thing we want is for you to graduate to felony status to where you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary, right? And I need, and I want to make sure that you understand that there are consequences to behavior. You need to understand that if you ever get in a car, you smell like alcohol, you smell like dope, they're not going to care whether you're spilling, fall down ass drunk, where you've urinated yourself, whether you're vomiting. It doesn't take that for them to file a felony charge on you. Even the faintest smell of alcohol, faintest droopy eyelids, faintest sway in the wrong way, they're going to charge you with a felony DWI, and now you're looking at up to 10 years in prison. I, at all costs, want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And in my experience, what I've seen, when people have easy, right, it never works out well. And I don't think that time served on the DWI second is appropriate. I understand that you may take care of other people. I understand that you may have life issues. Actions have consequences. So you not only have this DWI second, but you also have a felony possession of a controlled substance. He's worked a tremendous deal where they're going to dismiss felony case. I'm going to tell you now, anytime you can avoid a felony, you're winning. Anytime, it doesn't matter. Because once you get that felony conviction, I can tell you how many doors that closes. And not only just from potential work, but I'm talking issues with the state, being able to get state resources, funding for things like food stamps, perhaps lose the right to vote. Just, it really closes a lot of doors. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen, So, we usually, now this is a second, you, by law, must do 5 days.
Turning point. The judge isn't just warning her. He's practically begging her to avoid a future felony. Big question for you. Do harsh warnings actually scare people straight, or do they fade the moment they leave the courtroom?
5 days in jail as a condition to probation, right? I don't know if you guys have worked out an agreement where they're going to waive that and plead it down to a first, thereby waiving the jail time, but there's mandatory 5 days in jail as a result. That's what you need to understand, which is the other consequence of this. Now, if they're willing to do that, I'm certainly okay with that, but time served. And the probation, if you do well in the beginning and you show us that we can trust you, we will allow you to do virtual reporting through Zoom. So we have to know.
Here's the turning point. The judge is laying it down hard. This isn't about punishment alone. It's about making sure no life is lost on the road. But what do you think? Does fear really change people, or only for a moment?
That you're going to do well. There are not going to be any issues. And most importantly, you're not going to use. So that's what matters. All we're trying to do here is make sure that you don't take a life on the road. So that you have enough of a crappy experience here that 15 years down the road, when you're placed in a position where you're intoxicated out there, man, should I get this car? I had such a miserable time in court with that Judge Fleischer. I never want that experience again. That's the idea.
Yes,
because
sir.
I want you to remember me 20 years from now when you're in a position of vulnerability where you make the right decision.
Yes.
And hopefully, with the probation, we get you understand.
So, I will.
Now, you have a probation officer, right? Your probation officer is always willing to work with you. If they call you in for a drug test and you're in some kind of situation where you can't, you let them know. We will give you the line to Shatoria here. She's absolutely an angel, is always willing to help you out. We can give you a direct access to her. If you have a problem, call us, call me, call her, and we'll work something out. There's never a way that we can't work something out. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always.
Sure.
Okay?
Give me a minute or two to talk
No
to
rush.
my judge.
No rush. And I mean, your case, Ms. Knowles, it's only what, like 140 days? Right?
You don't have to over today, Judge.
Oh, you don't have?
No, I think we're, no. Just a little conversation, I think we should do.
Okay. For sure.
And I appreciate it, Judge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Acetone and other things will interfere.
Can judge, but I mean, the SRAM device itself has an environmental tampering test. Like it will, the SRAM device itself does a test internally to see if there are environmental factors that are affecting the SRAM device. If there is an environmental factor that has affected it, as in he's a painter and there's some sort of paint that's got alcohol in it and it detects that, it will notice that it's not from sweat and it will not accept that as a TAC reading. In this case, it's not what it shows. There's a confirmed tamper event for about 12 hours and there is a confirmed TAC reading, but they can't actually confirm it because something was either stuck in the leg or it was removed entirely. To me, this is a clear tamper and it meets the range for a tamper. It wouldn't even show that it's a tamper if it didn't meet the criteria range that SRAM identifies.
Pardo, he's saying it's a 12-hour tamper that could be. So are you telling me that it could not read his leg for 12 hours?
So it's reading and read at that site, and they won't state the actual level of usage,
Well, I understand that.
but the duration of the tamper was stated as 12 hours and I believe upon limit. So it wasn't able to either get a reading or get an accurate during that inspection.
Did he have something in his leg? Like, I mean, a piece of paper in
12
between.
hours of tampering with SRAM device? That's no glitch, that's strategy. But is it desperation or defiance? Viewers, if you were the judge, would you call this a violation or give the benefit of the doubt?